The World Cup final ended with a man being grabbed by the throat. Not tackled, not shoved, grabbed by the neck and thrown to the ground by a player from the team that just lost, aimed at a player from the team that just won. The trophy hadn't even been lifted yet, and Lionel Messi's Argentina, the reigning champions of the world, chose to end their reign not with a handshake, but with a brawl. So here's the only question worth asking after 120 of the ugliest minutes this tournament produced. What actually happened at that final? And what's happened since? Because this story didn't end when the whistle blew. It's still developing right now, and some of what got reported in the immediate aftermath has already turned out to be wrong. I'll get to that part. First though, the football. Because if you tuned in expecting a coronation, expecting Messi to ride off into the sunset with a second star, what you got instead was a masterclass from one team and a total meltdown from the other.
Take a look at the numbers, because this might be one of the most one-sided lines a World Cup final has ever produced. 20 shots, 12 on target, an expected goals figure hovering around 1.9, and 65% of the ball. That was Spain. Argentina's entire final came down to 2 shots, 0 on target, an expected goals figure of 0.2, and a defending world champion side that, remarkably, never once forced Spain's goalkeeper into a save across 90 minutes of normal time. Meanwhile, at the other end, Emiliano Martinez had to make 11 saves just to keep his team alive. Sit with those two.
14 minutes into the match, Alexis McAllister flew into a challenge on Dani Olmo that somehow escaped a booking. Not long after that, Nicolás Tagliafico went to work on Lamine Yamal so persistently that one newspaper joked afterward he'd probably walk away with shin tattoos reading "Tagliafico was here." None of this was a surprise to Spain either. Aymeric Laporte had warned before kickoff that Argentina are a team that leave a lot of little messages with their challenges. And he wasn't guessing, because he'd watched the tape from earlier in the tournament. That tape showed exactly this playing out against England in the semi-final, a game that was arguably nastier than the final itself. Argentina didn't outplay England so much as provoke them into cracking. And the clearest example came from substitute Valentin Barco, who never played a single minute in that match, but still sprinted onto the pitch after Argentina's equalizer to celebrate directly in England's players' faces. Jude Bellingham slapped him across the back of the head for it, and that's really the whole blueprint in one moment.
Then, Argentina did the thing Argentina does best. They came apart from the inside. Enzo Fernandez, already carrying a yellow card, lunged studs first into Spain's teenage defender, Pau Cubarsí, in stoppage time at the end of normal play. And the second yellow that followed meant Argentina had to survive the entire 30 minutes of extra time down to 10 men. Even with the extra man, Spain couldn't find the breakthrough until the 106th minute, when Pedro Porro's cross found Nico Williams at the back post. Williams headed it across goal, and substitute Ferran Torres buried it. 1-0. The pressure had been building the whole match, and that was the moment the dam finally gave. Give Messi his due here, because
once the whistle blew, Argentina's Nahuel Molina appeared to swing at Spain captain Rodri as he ran past in celebration, and Rodri stopped dead to confront him. That's when things detonated. Leandro Paredes grabbed Spain's Eric Garcia by the throat and shoved him to the ground, then turned on Gavi next, wrestling him down and shoving into his face while gripping his substitute bib. Argentina manager Lionel Scaloni had to physically wade into his own team to pull players off their Spanish opponents, while cameras separately caught Argentina's Nicolás Otamendi confronting Rodri directly, accusing him of crying all week to the referees. This is the reigning world champions. This is how they chose to hand back the crown. What came next was arguably worse than any of the punches. Spain had extended Argentina a guard of honor on the way up to the podium, and when it came time for Argentina's players to recognize the new champions, they turned their backs and huddled instead with their own fans.
Then, when Rodri stepped up to collect the golden ball as the tournament's best player, the Argentine end of the stadium drowned the moment out with chants of Messi's name. Losing the game was one thing. Losing their composure afterward was another. But trying to steal the winner's moment away from them too? That's the part nobody forgot. And it's
Here's where the story takes a turn the initial reporting got wrong, mine included. In the days right after the final, it was widely reported that Paredes had been shown a straight red card for the throat grab on Garcia. That turned out not to be true. FIFA later confirmed the red card that appeared on the official match record was nothing more than an administrative error, that referee Slavko Vincic never actually sent Paredes off, and the entry has since been deleted from FIFA's system entirely. As things stand right now, Paredes faces no automatic suspension tied to that specific incident. None of that means this is over, though. FIFA has appointed a disciplinary and ethics prosecutor to formally investigate everything that happened after the final whistle, and the list of people under review keeps growing. Paredes himself, Nahuel Molina and his strike on Rodri, Thiago Almada, and Argentina assistant coach Roberto Ayala, who footage reportedly shows striking Spain's Dani Olmo and shoving Eric Garcia during the same chaos. Whatever fines or suspensions eventually land, this story is still being written days after the final whistle blew. Spain deserves real credit here, because what they pulled off across the whole tournament goes far beyond one final. They conceded a single goal in the entire competition, not just the final, the whole thing, which makes it the fewest goals allowed by any World Cup winning team in history. Only one player managed to beat them all summer, Belgium's Charles de Ketelaere in the quarterfinal. Goalkeeper Unai Simon set a new World Cup record by going 650 minutes without conceding, breaking a mark that had stood since 1990. And he capped it off with 7 clean sheets, a tournament record in its own right. This win also stretched Spain's unbeaten run to 38 matches without a defeat, now the longest unbeaten run in the history of men's international football, surpassing the record Italy had held since their run from 2018 to 2021. Buried inside that final is a strange little footnote worth pulling out too. Lamine Yamal and Pau Cubarsí, both 19 years old, became only the 4th and 5th teenagers ever to start a World Cup final, joining Pelé, Giuseppe Bergomi, and Kylian Mbappe. And every single one of those 5 won. The biggest open question now is what comes next for him. Messi hasn't announced his retirement from international football, not officially, though he did wear custom boots labeled The Last Tango heading into the final, and reportedly shared an emotional farewell letter with his Argentina teammates beforehand, which only fueled speculation that this was the end. Argentine journalist Gaston Edul has since reported the opposite, that Sunday's final won't be Messi's last appearance for his country, and that he's expected to stick around at least through the 2026 Copa America, with the Argentine Federation reportedly hoping he stays involved even longer than that. For now, the decision sits entirely with him.